Okay, it is Orphan Black time. Every time I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm almost caught up. Nope. Life happens all the time. So I have a few days free. Hopefully I can catch up. This is Orphan Black, episode 6 of season 4. Its title is The Scandal of Altruism. Let's do it. Beth, what are you doing? Oh, drugs. You gonna shoot her? There's Lester. Hi, Lester.
Are you ready to meet our original after all these years?
They just did stuff.
And in return, you get that bot out of your face. And we get to collaborate on a cure.
You guys trust everyone.
And even if the next one does, I may not have that much time, Sarah.
Seema, if you die.
And I'm trying to, change my life right now. I shouldn't have to live my life that way. I need protective custody now. Because if Dyad doesn't get me, then Brightborn definitely will.
Oh, Crystal, I love you. Art, do you do any police work, or do you just drink coffee and hang out there?
You know what? Constable, when I handle that for you.
That chick's from Carmilla.
These people who are after you.
They're targeting beauty professionals.
Naturally.
I'm against animal testing.
Okay.
Humans is, too far. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I love her.
Does the leader mean anything to you?
Yeah, I love their eyeliner.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing.
I'm nothing like my brothers, Miss Manning.
How would you know?
But what's mine doing?
It's making you sick.
Well, then get it out.
We don't give them Castor, we only give them Lita.
Well, that makes things easier.
We're not saving Castor.
Susan?
Susan's not gonna protect you, bro.
Fetch me a hard drive, please. Ira, please.
Ira, you're just a gross boy toy.
You're not the first leader to make it this far, you know?
Are we talking about Ira?
Oh, go talk about Beth? Talk about Beth.
If I kill you, it's over. The monitors, the testing, the lies.
Not true.
You bartered my mother behind.
Mrs. S, you wanted to kill your mom at one point, so no, you don't get to talk.
I just got her back.
You didn't even want her back.
Mickey's Alzheimer's bot's looking a little peaky. Suppose we should feed it some blood, like little shock of horrors.
Yeah.
Audrey to it. I never thought Scott would be such a big character, but I love him so much.
My life is expendable.
Please, don't talk like that.
You're not wrong, but don't talk like it.
The gun. And then she comes back again. I mean, if she didn't shoot anybody, then...
Why does she have blood on her hands?
Who'd she shoot?
Sarah, you watch your back. This is what killed Beth.
A train killed Beth, so watch out for trains.
We need to keep the situation under control. Faye just promised me that Adela's not going to walk in.
It's a moot point. She went home.
Yeah, we didn't like her anymore. She wasn't your family. Felix's apartment is getting cooler and cooler looking.
We'll push you under. You'll sleep right through it. No, not her. Why not?
'Cause you're evil.
I see the most. And right now, you are the most valuable person in the world.
Said that, and then we immediately cut to the guy she's banging and doesn't care that much about.
This enzyme neutralizes those receptors, puts it to sleep. No toxic failsafe. More steps.
So you can just poke it, and it's fine as long as you're giving it a shot? Last time you poked it, it went crazy and killed someone. Uh-oh.
If that toxin hits her bloodstream, she's dead.
So maybe focus. Ew, that's gross. Yeah, you gotta rinse and spit after that.
I'd spit, but she'd probably bottle it.
You're so witty and cool and old.
I'll see you later, Ma. You did good. Watch out. It's not over.
It's never over. We want more seasons, so it better not be over. What's this? What's happening?
Oh my god, you're that guy who stole my wallet right before I was kidnapped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't think about that?
Remember what I said to you the first time we met?
That I wasn't alone.
That's right, darling. You don't know anything. No, my God!
He got maced, son. You got maced. Oh my god. Instincts kick in. Okay, that's not good. There's blood and cigarettes. And not in the party kind of way. Y'all just get screwed all the time. Quit trusting people. Oh god, y'all getting screwed over a million ways. Casima, no.
All the big players are involved. Brightborn, Neolution.
What's an illusion?
You shouldn't have given her more things. She may be slow, but she puts things together. Don't give her new things to look up.
Ever since I smacked this French doctor at the dyad. I just keep injuring people everywhere I go. So
You guys keep bringing up Delphine. Is she alive or not?
I saw her get shot.
What? Information?
You'll do anything. You hunted her down for 20 years. It wasn't me. It doesn't make
It was that
sense.
stupid caster boy.
She's got the genome. She doesn't need to do this. But Ira does.
Duh! You know, Sarah probably shouldn't have bleached, like, you know, the blood sample until she was sure what was going on. Sarah seems to get really cool outfits, despite the fact that she's always busy doing things. Like, between life-threatening situations, does she just go to Hot Topic? Dude, it's you! I hate you! This dude is like some weird cop, comes out of nowhere this season stealing people.
Forget about Ira. You fight for stealing with my money.
Whoa, S, calm down.
There's some kind of Trojan wiping our research.
What? No!
How's that possible? Your system's offline.
It had to be introduced on the hard drive from Brightport.
Oh my gosh, this is the worst. Why do you trust people?
Everything's gone.
What?
Casima's dice has been wiped. It's a coup.
Oh, it's almost like you shouldn't trust evil corporations. And you already knew that.
Whoever did this doesn't care about Kendall's genome. They just want Lita destroyed.
Is it the fish people?
The engineer.
Another character? Like, seriously, guys, why did Sarah burn that stuff with the bleach? Oh my gosh.
Beth held a gun to my head. And Evie put it in her.
Oh god, what? There's too many things going on. See, I should have known you can't trust any chick with, like, a nice haircut like that, because Rachel was sketchy too, and she had perfect hair.
You want to save the people that you love. Use that gun on yourself.
What? You're evil! I hate you!
Do you think I'm afraid to die? Do you think I'm scared of anything right now?
She's got so much drugs in her system, she ain't afraid of nothing.
Clones are obsolete. You're Betamax.
Hey, Betamaxes are valuable now.
In 100 years, they'll call me a pioneer.
But right now, we call you horrible.
Kendall, what do we do?
Tears, Casima.
This is getting real.
Step back.
Don't do it, but don't do it.
Turn around, love. Turn around.
Whew. No! My gosh, no! Oh, crap. Y'all is screwed. Y'all is screwed. We need to kill that chick. That Asian chick, you dying.
Delphine Cormier was shot dead at the Diane party.
She's just rubbing it in.
Tell Sarah, it's over. Or Beth died for nothing.
God, Cosima is going through it right now. Leave her alone. Well, at least we know why Beth's hands were bloody.
What's your plan, Beth?
This is dark. Cosima should have, like, run to that van and tried to pull some burning body parts out and save something. Wow. Okay, so this episode jumps around a lot. I'm gonna try to explain it, but stay with me. We got a flashback of Beth when she put on that blonde wig and had a gun. She goes to the Brightborn thing. She has a waiter spill some stuff on Susan to separate her. When Susan's in the bathroom, she pulls a gun on her. Then we have present times, and Susan is with Ira, and she's, like, saying things to kind of test him to see if he's glitching, and he's like, I ain't glitching. Then Cosima is Skyping with Sarah, saying that, you know, she's considering giving Kendall's genome to them, and Sarah's like, well, if they have Kendall's genome, they can also fix the Castor Boys, and we can't have that. Then Art's at the station, he hears Crystal's there, he kind of plays interference so that other bad cop dude doesn't see Crystal, and he takes her in the back. She tells Art that she's convinced that, you know, it's a big stem cell thing, and the cosmetics companies are behind it, and he's like, okay. Sarah goes and meets with Susan and Evie and is saying, alright, we're gonna work out a deal, but first of all, I want this worm thing out of me. What is it even doing? They tell her that the thing in the cheek, for some people, introduces things into their body, like with Leaky, it was to treat him, he had a predisposition for Alzheimer's, and so they're like, well, with you, it's just making you sick. It's basically trying to kill her, but it hasn't figured out a way to do it yet, so she needs to get it out soon. Then we also see back with Kendall and Mrs. S. Kendall has told her daughter that she has leukemia and is dying, but there's a good point to this because the original cell that started leukemia was a Lita cell, so when it multiplied, they can now isolate which part of her is Lita, so they can give them that part, which is just Lita, so they won't get any information on Castor. They can just fix Lita clones, screw the Castor clones. So Sarah's also telling Susan and all them this too, and Ira's like, hey, but that kind of, we're gonna die, that's screwing me over. And Susan's like, no, it's alright, we'll just take Sarah up on her deal and screw you, Ira. Ira's kind of mad about it and mentions that, Sarah's not the only clone that got that close, and she's like, wait, what do you mean? Susan says that Beth thought she found her enemy, but she didn't. Flashback time. We're back with when Beth was holding a gun against Susan's head in the bathroom, and Susan tells her, she's like, look, I'm not the leader of all this. I created you guys, and I've kind of been keeping you safe and following your life, and if you kill me, someone else is going to take over, and they ain't going to care about you guys. Beth kind of is, taken aback by all this information, and then she just leaves Susan there and doesn't shoot her. Then we see Sarah is talking to S, and S ain't happy. She's like, you're making deals about my mom. And Sarah's like, look, this is about, our lives, and I have a thing in my face, so we have to do what we have to do. Then we see Cosima with Scott, and she's packing up all their research, and she's like, this kind of feels like we're, surrendering, but are we helping ourselves? What is going on here? Scott's like, look, I know, we have to do what we have to do, but if we had, more time, we could solve this ourselves, but we have to save you. Then we see Susan and Ira's just really upset because, his hope is gone now of saving himself. And Susan's like, no, don't worry, we'll find a way to save you. We just have to, Lita is very important right now. Sarah calls Art and is like, hey, this is what happened. Beth pulled a gun on Susan and couldn't kill her. And then they're like, well, that doesn't make any sense because on the video she comes back with blood on her hands, so what was that about? Also, Art's like, by the way, Crystal's here and she thinks the makeup companies are after her. And Sarah's like, I'll send Felix over. She likes him. So Felix goes over to meet with Crystal, and at the same time, they're using his apartment to bring Kendall over, and Scott's gonna take her blood cancer cells out, and Susan shows up to, make sure the whole thing's going down. So then we have a few things going on. Sarah is there to get the worm out of her mouth, and Cosima is going to, help in that surgery. Then we also see that Ira is standing by a window looking, pensive. We also see that Susan is with Kendall and Mrs. S and Scott, and she's telling Kendall about, how amazing she is, and how she's, the only one they could clone, and she's, unique. They end up removing the bot from Sarah's face, even though it gets a little sketchy and dangerous, but they get it out safely. Then we see that they've gotten Kendall's blood, and Scott's beginning to separate, the Lita cells out of it. Sarah's getting ready to leave, but Cosima is going to stay behind at Brightborn until all the information is traded hands. Kendall's going out to the car with her driver to leave, and then someone shows up and kills her driver, and then you're like, what's happening? And then we immediately cut to Crystal at Art's apartment. Felix shows up and pretends to be a cop from London. He's telling Crystal, yeah, you can trust me, whatever. He gets too close and she maces him, which is just Crystal. Sarah's showing up at Felix's, and outside she sees Kendall's cigarettes and a pool of blood. So she runs inside, throws bleach all over the samples, tells them what's going on. They start duct taping up Susan. They take her bodyguard and lock him up. And then they're like, we gotta figure this out, but Susan's coming with us. Cosima's sitting there with Evie, and she asks about Delphine, and she's like, yeah, I don't know much about her. Then Evie's bodyguard chick rolls up and says, hey, Susan's not checking in. At that time, Cosima's phone rings, and they take it from her. Then we go back to Felix sitting with Crystal and Art, and he's got, a towel on his face because he got maced. He tells Crystal that, yeah, everything she believes is real, and that she needs to just go live her life and be quiet and stay out of it, because, she doesn't want to, cause more trouble. She mentions that she's sorry for macing him, but she's kind of jumpy ever since she, slapped some doctor. They find out she's talking about Delphine, and she says that she saw Delphine get shot, and she saw everything that happened. Then Sarah, Susan, Mrs. S, and Benjamin all get back to their safe house, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and they figure, hey, okay, if they already were going to have Kendall's Lita stuff, why are they kidnapping her now? Maybe it's for Castor stuff. Maybe Ira is the one behind this. So Susan's like, I don't think he is, but on the off chance he is, take my key card and go find him in our hotel. Sarah and Benjamin get to the hotel, and Ira's in the bathtub and is just OD'd, so they're like, what the heck is going on? Then we see that Kendall is in the back of the van with her driver who's dead, and then the dude who opens the van is that detective dude. I think his name is Duco. He's a jerk, and he says he's way over his head, and he's just doing what he's got to do. Then Sarah's with Mrs. S and Susan, and she gets a call from Scott, and he says that whatever was on the hard drive that Brightborn gave them has destroyed all of their research, and someone has basically effectively just stopped everything they're doing and taken all the information. They're like, holy crap, this is someone who wants to completely kill everything and just end all this line of research. Who could it be? It's freaking Evie. Evie shows up near the van with Kendall, and she's got Cosima, and they have some stuff that burns really hot. Basically, Evie's a big super evil person who wants to just end cloning because she's like, technology's moved past it. We don't need this anymore. It's not important. Let's just burn it all to the ground. Then they realize that Beth tried to kill Susan because Evie wanted her to, and then when Beth couldn't, we get a flashback of her going into Evie's limo and freaking out at her, and Evie's like, look, basically, everything will be burnt to the ground. We'll go after you, your family, your sisters, Paul, everyone. If you want this all to end, basically just kill yourself. Back at the van with Kendall, Evie's like, basically, we're moving past all of this. Screw you all. Y'all go and die. You can have a moment to say goodbye, though. Kendall tells Cosima to tell, like, Mrs. S she's proud of her. Tell all the sisters she's proud that she was part of them. And that, you know, basically the last words of, like, encouragement before she gets shot in the head and then caught on fire. Then Evie gives Cosima a phone and says, call everyone and let them know that the original's dead. All the research is gone. Oh, and by the way, Delphine was shot to death. Poor freaking Cosima is just in the middle of nowhere crying on the ground. Then it kind of goes into like one of those musical montages of like flashbacks and cut together things. And we see that in the flashback, Beth is just beating the crap out of Evie in the car. That's how she gets the blood on her hands. And then that detective dude opens the door, pulls a gun, they're both pointing guns. And then Beth is like, are my sisters gonna die for what I know? And he's like, yeah, we've killed a lot of people before. So Beth just leaves, goes home, washes the blood off her hands, and then we see flashbacks of when, you know, she was talking to Mika and all that stuff. We see Sarah get a phone call and kind of like turn to Mrs. S because, you know, she has to tell her that her mom is dead. And then it ends with this hallway and Beth walking towards the train station and then credits. This show is getting wild. Like, this is absurdly awesome and horrible and amazing. Dude, seriously, that's a lot to process. One thing I love about this show is you don't know who to hate, but you do know you shouldn't trust anyone. Like, everyone is these varying gray areas of good or bad or moral or immoral or just neutral. It's like freaking D&D. What is their character alignments? You never know at what point should you hate someone more. So it's getting wild. I don't know how they're going to get out of this. What are they going to do? Who knows? I have no clue. What did you guys think about this one? If I forgot anything or left anything out, if you guys want to just mention anything, drop a comment. Don't forget to do the things, rate, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Until next time.